The first and foremost habit of effective people is proactive. What distinguishes us as humans from all other animals is our inherent ability to examine our own character, to decide how to view ourselves and our situations, and to control our own effectiveness. Put simply, in order to be effective, one must be proactive. Proactive people, however, recognize they have responsibility, which defines as the ability to choose how you will respond to a given stimulus or situation. In order to be proactive, we must focus on the circle of influence that lies within our circle of concern. In other words, we must work on the things we can do something about. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. Start with a clear destination in mind. We can use our imagination to develop a vision of what we want to become and use our conscience to decide what values will guide us. Most of us find it rather easy to busy ourselves. We work hard to achieve victories like promotions, higher income, more recognition. But we don't often stop to evaluate the meaning behind this busyness. Behind these victories, we don't ask ourselves if these things that we focus on so intently are what really matter to us. In everything we do, we should begin with the end in mind. Start with a clear destination. That way, we can make sure the steps we're taking are in the right direction. Our self-awareness empowers us to shape our own lives, instead of living our lives by default or based on the standards or preferences of others. The third habit is, put first things first. In order to manage ourselves effectively, we must put first things first. We must have the discipline to prioritize our day-to-day actions based on what is most important, not what is most urgent. It's about going after our goals, and executing on our priorities on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. In order to maintain the discipline and the focus to stay on track toward our goals, we need to have the willpower to do something when we don't want to do it. We need to act according to our values rather than our desires or impulses at any given moment. All activities can be categorized based on two factors, urgent and important. We react to urgent matters. We spend our time doing things that are not important. We should always maintain a primary focus on relationships and results, and a secondary focus on time. The fourth habit is, think win-win. In order to establish effective interdependent relationships, we must commit to creating win-win situations that are mutually beneficial and satisfying to each party. Another important factor in solving for win-win situations is maintaining an abundance mentality, or the belief that there's plenty out there for everyone. Most people operate with the scarcity mentality, meaning they act as though everything is zero-sum. People with the scarcity mentality have a very hard time sharing recognition or credit and find it difficult to be genuinely happy about other people's successes. When it comes to interpersonal leadership, the more genuine our character is, the higher our level of proactivity, the more committed we are to win-win, the more powerful our influence will be. To achieve win-win, keep the focus on results, not methods, and on problems, not people. The fifth habit is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Before we can offer advice, suggest solutions, or effectively interact with another person in any way, we must seek to deeply understand them and their perspective through empathic listening. We prescribe a solution before we diagnose the problem. We don't seek to deeply understand the problem first. In order to seek to understand, we must learn to listen. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. At any given moment, they're either speaking or preparing to speak. When you're able to present your ideas clearly, and in the context of a deep understanding of the other person's needs and concerns, we significantly increase the credibility of your ideas. The sixth habit is synergize. By understanding and valuing the differences in another person's perspective, we have the opportunity to create synergy, which allows us to uncover new possibilities through openness and creativity. Synergy allows us to create new alternatives and open new possibilities. It allows us as a group to collectively agree to ditch the old scripts and write new ones. We seek first to understand, and then we find strength and utility in those different perspectives in order to create new possibilities and win-win results. The last but not the least is sharpen the saw. To be effective, we must devote the time to renewing ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially. Continuous renewal allows us to synergistically increase our ability to practice each habit. It is focused around renewal, or taking time to sharpen the saw. It surrounds all of the other habits and makes each one possible by preserving and enhancing your greatest asset, which is yourself. We must also seek to be a positive scripter for other people. We must look to inspire others to a higher path by showing them we believe in them, by listening to them empathically, by encouraging them to be proactive. The real beauty of the 7 habits is that, improvement in one habit synergistically increases our ability to improve the rest.